Welcome back to A Moment in History. I'm Seth Udinsky. At the turn of the 1st century AD, the Roman Empire was making a comeback of sorts following several decades of relative chaos between the reigns of the emperors Nero and Domitian from the 60s to the 90s AD. 5 rulers that came to be known as the 5 good emperors. These were men who brought back stability and order to the empire while also expanding its reach. The second of these was a man who would rule for nearly 20 years, a relatively young emperor who was handpicked by his elderly predecessor to take the throne. This was the 13th emperor of Rome and the first to rule in the 2nd century, the Emperor Trajan. Trajan was likely born around the year AD 53 in the western province of Spain. His father served in the imperial aristocracy under the Emperor Vespasian. Now, historians believe that Trajan was likely looked upon with high countenance under the volatile Emperor Domitian, who we mentioned previously. When Domitian was assassinated in a political move by members of the Roman Senate who feared him to be just a little too chaotic, Trajan would play a major role in the imperial succession. Here's how it played out basically. The Senate, looking for stability, elected the aging Nerva to be the next emperor in 96 AD. Not long after that, Nerva, knowing he would not live long, picked a young successor to take the throne upon his death. This successor was Trajan, and in 98 AD, when the former emperor died, Trajan took the throne. Now, Trajan's reign lasted from 98 AD to 117 AD, and he enjoyed a somewhat prosperous rule of imperial expansion. Under Trajan, Rome acquired lands in the Arabic East, increasing its grip on power over the Mediterranean world. Trajan also strengthened the Roman infrastructure, commissioning the building of more roads and aqueducts. Now, one very interesting tidbit of Trajan's life, and this is according to the historian Pliny the Younger, who was a companion of Trajan's, was his treatment of Christians. At first glance, Trajan seemed to buck the trend in Rome and grant Christians some level of freedom to worship Jesus Christ so long as they were not causing trouble in the public sphere. Still, Trajan oversaw the execution of one of Christianity's most famous and beloved early fathers. This would be Ignatius of Antioch, one of the earliest fathers who possibly knew the apostles on a personal level. Well, Trajan did not have a biological heir, so like his predecessor, he chose his successor as well, a distant relative by the name of Hadrian, who took the throne when Trajan died in 117 AD. Thanks so much for joining me once again for A Moment in History.